Earlier, I caught up with him and I asked him what it was like to be back.
We've a few weeks to go yet, but nonetheless I'm very happy to be offered the position of Minister of the Environment. It's an opportunity that I relish. There's a lot of work to be done, there's a lot of reform to be carried out, and ultimately people on the ground want to see the Northern Ireland Executive making a difference, and I would hope to be right in there at the centre making that difference and hoping to make change for the benefit of the community in Northern Ireland.
Back at your party conference, Peter Robinson indicated that he would like to see you at the executive table again. Did you expect it to happen quite so quickly?
Well, he certainly indicated that over a year ago whenever we talked about stepping down for a period, that it only would be for a period and that he intended to bring me back. So the party leader was good to his word. In respect of last November, I didn't anticipate it to be as early as in July this year. However, a lot of things have taken place since then. There's been the whole issue of the expenses and double jobbing, which has caused difficulties and has been a difficult time for the party. And this is evidence that the party is looking at these issues and addressing these issues and will continue to address them over a longer period of time. So these are the early steps of addressing these issues.
Was this a difficult reshuffle for Peter Robinson? We heard stories about people digging their heels in and refusing to move.
I'm not aware of it being a difficult reshuffle for Peter. I know that he has been doing a lot of thinking, working very hard since the election as to the way this party goes forward. We will be meeting as a group to analyse things and to how we can better represent the community in Northern Ireland. DUP is still the largest Unionist party. It is incumbent upon us to deliver for the Unionist community in the first instance, but for the wider community of Northern Ireland as a whole. And that's a challenge that we're up for, and we will have further discussions as to how best we can do this, but be in no doubt we are committed to delivering a better Northern Ireland for all of the people of Northern Ireland.
Indeed, Peter Robinson has set out his stall in terms of the benefits of devolution. Is that something that you'd forgotten about recently?
Well, I think one of our failings has been that we haven't actually sold the benefits of devolution thus far. The only reason that people haven't got a huge water bill already is devolution. The rates have been frozen as a consequence of devolution. For rural dwellers, PPS 21 has been introduced, which is hugely beneficial to people who own land in rural countrysides and who have owned land for generations. And there are a whole range of activities which I could come off with this evening where I could demonstrate benefit. I think that the executive as a whole has been poor at marketing what it has done and the good things that it has done, and has allowed there to be a concentration on other issues which have been negative.
So are we now seeing a clear choice between, say for instance, Jim Allister, who wants to bring down the current arrangements at Stormont, and the DUP speaking up in support of the power sharing arrangements?
Absolutely, and remember Jim walked away from politics in 1987 because he wanted to split unionism then. He wanted to run against an Ulster Unionist candidate in 1987, which the DUP were not prepared to allow him to do because we were together fighting the Anglo-Irish Agreement. And again, Jim wants to split unionism and put republicanism top of the tree. Now that's for Jim to reflect on. As a unionist, I will certainly want to keep unionist in the best positions in Northern Ireland, to represent the people of Northern Ireland for the best interests of the community. Now, we will be working the devolution process for the best interests of Northern Irish people. But in particular, we will be representing the unionist community because those are the people who elect us. So in all of these things, the maintenance of the union, the strengthening of the union will be a key focus for us. And we won't allow Jim Allister or anyone else distract us from our goal of seeing Northern Ireland remain as part of the United Kingdom, but being a well-established part of that United Kingdom where people have a good quality of life and are able to live in a peaceful environment.
One last question. You're taking on the environment portfolio. Do you believe that climate change is man-made, or at least that man contributes to it?
Well, I don't think it's a man-made phenomenon, because that has happened for many years, climate change, and most people recognise that that's the case. However, given what has happened over this past number of years, given the deforestation that has taken place, given the amount of carbon that is put into the environment and atmosphere, and given the pace of climate change that is taking place, because the climate has been warmer previously than what it is now, it is reasonable to come to the assumption that man is making a contribution to it. And on the basis of that it is further reasonable to seek to reduce our contribution to climate change where that is negative. And therefore I would be supporting those schemes whereby we can actually reduce man's contribution to carbon going into the atmosphere. And I think in Northern Ireland we are particularly well placed in terms of renewable energies to leave us less reliant on oil and less reliant on gas and other imported energy sources. And we can actually do something which is of benefit to our community, as well as something which is of benefit to the environment at the same time.
Edwin Poots, many thanks.
Thank you.
Now,